Have you finished? Can I start now? Because I've just hit the go
You're not on the
live.
game.
Live.
I just hit the go live button anyway. I thought, I'll fuck it.
Start it.
You can carry on now, Bill, waffling about rugby, because that's what we're waffling about.
Oh, there's a waffle.
We're 2 minutes early as well.
Yeah.
It's better than that other pansy sport, football. American or English football.
That's not football. That's just rugby with pads.
Hey up, Steve. How you doing, bud?
Hiya, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Steve.
Hanky, question for you. Are you a football fan or a rugby fan? And it's an important question. And how you answer is the way you will be treated.
Depends whether you get put on the naughty step.
I knew it. I knew he was a footy fan. There's just too many fairies in fucking football. Too many.
Fucking is these days.
Who have broken a nail?
Oh, I tripped over a blade of grass.
Hi, Lisa.
Help, Lisa.
The show title for anybody watching is for our injured comrade, Captain Pugwash, who is currently lying in hospital.
Legless.
In the legless.
Go on, carry on, because you're just going to take the piss anyway, you lot.
I think I said it perfectly last night. You told me to get legless, but not literally.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, unfortunately, he's had to have the other leg removed. Which, trying to be serious, it's going to.
It has been removed.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But we shall carry on taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
Because it's what he would want.
Like I said, until he gets his other leg fitted, he's just going to be going round in circles.
Yeah.
Mm.
We need to get him a jar of dirt now.
Yep. Jar of dirt.
So I think he probably is watching.
Probably. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, smacked off his tits on more.
Hiya, Steve. Yeah.
Steve, have you got the tablet the right way up with you being stoned off your head?
If he's got that good stuff that my dad had, he'd be well smacked off his tits.
Some of that stuff they give you in hospital. What?
Yeah. on the button, and they were constantly, this is good stuff. Shit.
It's when the nurses come through and go, "Will you stop pressing that?"
No, fuck off.
It's like being back in the 70s.
When he went in, when they tried to get cannula in this arm, his hand had swollen up.
Yeah.
One at day, nurse, he was just there nodding off. One at nurses grabbed hold of his hand and he turned around and went, "Oh, you fucking bastard." You never came round after that. Oh, bless him.
Yeah,
he's doing well, though. He's doing well, my dad.
He has done really well, mate.
Yeah.
He
keeps messing about with his 3D printer.
And he's getting really good on the old 3D printer.
He has.
Mm.
He's churning out some banging stuff. Yeah, bastard.
Yeah, that one is good.
Nice.
He's done that. He's done those guitar knobs as well.
Yeah.
You go up to 11.
They do, actually.
Of course, they go to 11.
Well, they're nice.
Yeah, he's. I tell you what, he hasn't been doing the 3D printing stuff long, but boy, fuck, has he got hold of how to do it?
Yeah. I mean, did he get his? He got first one, I think, in about August last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, be about right.
Yeah. And he's cracking on with some good stuff.
It gives him something to do as much as anything.
Exactly.
doesn't it?
Well, he's been trying some new filament out this last day or two. It's sort of, it's a more what they call hardware in filament, for like, especially if you do stuff outdoors or putting heavier stuff on it. He's like built this extension shelf that you just screw onto a desk. About
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
You're going to start making some anti-stands as well now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be, yeah, mate. Nothing had shocked me.
I don't know about keeping him out of mischief. You can still get it into mischief.
Nothing ever going to happen.
You know where I fucking get it from.
Hey, I tell you what, it was with the vape lot, we could get him earning a fortune and stuff.
Oh, aye. I'm sure if we could manage to sneak some designs off a certain flat cap.
Well, I'm
No,
not going to.
No,
I'm not-
you want some that work.
Well, yeah.
There's been two sorts of grades in my eyes of people who do 3D printing. There's people who do it really well, like your dad, and there's flat cap. Because whoever's doing his printing, he's using filament that shouldn't be used for things like mech mods. He's using filament that isn't heat resistant and putting electricity through it and wondering why it's going to bend.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Let me send you a build. I'll send you a 007 build. Stick it on one of your mechs and see what happens. You can keep the RDA when it melts through and hits the battery.
It's a bomb.
Without throwing any shade, do you think he's used the same filament that he used on those snap things? He's used on the anti-stack.
Yeah.
I would say probably. Because I know there's a lot of different grades of filaments you can get.
And he's
There's
probably
like-
better off using some of that filament than my dad's just got that more hardware and stuff.
Yeah.
No, Hanky, what you need to 3D print yourself is a new spine. That's the same as I do. Although there is actually rumour that there is now using like 3D printers. They're in development of actually developing parts for surgery, spinal surgery.
Yeah.
Using 3D printers.
They've been experimenting it for about 5 years.
It's quite scary when you think about
now,
it.
yeah.
So you'll be able to go to Gaz and say, "Can you build us this?" I'd recommend going to a hospital personally.
Yeah.
Dad, I need a couple of new knees. These are knackered.
Knees isn't so bad. It's when you're doing spinal stuff. They have to be made to be assembled in situ in about 5 pieces so that they wrap around nerves and things without damaging the nerves. That's where the difficulties are coming in.
No, I'm using both of
Only
mine.
one, Steve.
I'm using both of mine. You're not having one of mine. If you just because you were careless and lost them, you should be more careful where you put them.
Keeps losing his legs. About time he found them.
And I mean, you should get another one anyway, shouldn't you, Steve? I should. I mean, hopefully they'll in time after things have healed. Mind you, this is the NHS at the minute.
The Labour run NHS.
He'll end up with a fucking wooden stump, will he?
And a jar of dirt. And a parrot.
Oh. I'm sorry, Steve, but it's
Although Steve has been
You're
looking
not
funny.
sorry, don't lie.
He's been looking funny at he's been looking very longingly at the dining table.
It's because Alana's in and Alana's giving Steve sympathy, so I've got to be careful. because something is like this comes flying through that door and belt me on the back of the head.
Yeah, but that's just a normal occurrence.
That's a fair point. Now, Tyler has arrived. He is in the green room. Shall I let him in?
It's up to you.
It is, isn't it?
Mm.
Evening, Tyler.
I'm allowed in, huh?
Yeah, you're allowed in.
What's up, guys?
For now, until you start mentioning certain groups.
Hey, I almost got banned last night for the Bud Light comment. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Honestly, Tyler, if you didn't make such nice coils that you're making, I would fucking slap you. So what you been up to, Tyler?
Yeah, hanging out with the family. It was one of those fun evenings where everybody sits there and talks about all the old stories of things they did that they shouldn't have done. My dad sat there for a half hour telling stories of all of the police-related incidents with his Mustang he had over the couple years he had it.
So now when he tells you off for doing something, you can say, hold on a minute.
Hold on, you silly old fart.
I like stuff like that. My dad used to slip up, especially in later years. He'd tell me off for smacking somebody and then turn around. I remember years ago, I cracked this bloke, broke his jaw. How did you?
Yeah.
Well,
Still think
told me
my
most of the shit
favourite
he's done when he was young, so
favourite story, dining room table. Right, and I bet you can't beat this one, Tyler. Dining room table, right? You pictures of my mum like on my Facebook, yeah. Looks quite and normal, lovely lady. And she was a lovely lady, very reserved, all the rest of it. Sat there, and she was in her 70s at the time, and we're all sat there. And I was talking about smoking weed. Well, she knew I smoked weed. She knew I'd done a lot of drugs. And sat there, and she went, "Yeah, you smoked it for pain as well, haven't you? You've done it for pain." I went, "Yeah." She went, I'll get you some, Mum. You can give it a try. She went, "No, I've tried it before. I didn't think much of it." My dad's face was classic because he was anti-drugs. My dad was anti-drugs. And his face, he never knew it. They'd been married like 40 odd years by that
Right.
I say, you say about that. There's one day I was sat when I was in Fox. I'm sat there. We've got a big marquee set up for us as our green room and that. I'm sat skinning up. My mother walks in and she stood behind me while I'm there skinning up. And I've got ex-girlfriend Sue, who's the other side of the tent, trying to gesticulate to me and warn me that my mother stood behind me. All it was to give me some photographs from from something we'd done the previous year.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me, but we'd been out and I'd smoked that, and I come back in. I'm skinning up again. Guess what? Gesticulations from Sue across the tent again. He's behind, yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake.
well, the one year
Can't have one joint in peace.
one year.
I still remember my mom's face when she went to wake me up for school one day, and I happened to have left certain things sitting out on the floor from the night before. Walks in, looks at me, looks at the floor, looks at me, just turns around and walks away.
The one year went on holiday.
Well, my brother had said to me when he got his tattoo, if Dad finds out about mine, he's finding out about yours. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. He goes in to wake him up one morning to check that he's up to get ready for work. He's like, "What the hell's that?" "Well, that's my tattoo." "Oh, Craig's got one as well." So, Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we
Never
went to
had that
holiday
problem.
and-
My mom signed for my first tattoo when I was 17.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's not.
I had lived down here for about 5 years by then.
Yeah,
Mm.
you're gonna have to have a bionic one for that one, aren't you? Then, Steve.
Mm.
That's it. We can call him Steve Austin then. He's bionic leg.
Yeah,
The £6 man.
Yeah. They can rebuild him.
The question is, do we want to?
We
The six
rebuilt him out of a garden.
It's all right, Steve. Don't worry. You've got the NHS under Labour. You'll be fine.
that's fucked it.
I mean, at that rate, Matt, we can actually just call him Captain from now on because he'll literally have 2 fucking wooden pegs for legs. I mean, shit.
Don't joke with the way the NHS is. I mean, joking apart with Steve, but with the way the NHS is at the minute, I can actually see things like that and people being badly treated. So being serious about it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right, though. I mean, you don't want to look at it in that way, but in reality, it is a
It's
dark
reality. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to look at the
Oh, yeah.
reality. It's
I
horrible.
say, the only reason I'm not so worried about what's coming up for me is it's driven by consultants in this the whole thing started while we were still under the Conservative government.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's consultant led.
There's a
They can't do
chance they might stop certain things. A chance.
There's a chance, but I don't think they can stop.
I hope not. And they shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but you know what this lot are like.
Mm.
Especially for anybody over 30.
I'll tell you what I did see. I don't know if anyone else saw it on YouTube or the news. Is that there was a big demonstration in London today. All the ex-servicemen went down on bikes and took over like Whitehall and everything. Because of the money they're now trying to take off our troops that came back, veterans and so on.
Yeah.
Everybody else is taking note of it and saying, yeah, we need to give the, troops and disabled people more. The Birkin number 10, obviously, will totally ignore that.
Of course he will.
Because that's the kind of man he is.
He'll do
Exactly, dear. Yeah, exactly, Alana. Yes.
He'll do what his handlers tell him. The EU and Lord Ali.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, was that her opinion or was that your daughter's opinion? Probably both.
Gwendolyn.
Bit of both, probably.
Gwendolyn is actually coming out with that word. I was driving through town the other day.
I wonder where she learned that from.
Oh, I wonder.
The classic one is you see me do it. You get someone pull out in front of you. Fucking not. I look in the mirror and all I've got is Gwendolyn leaning out the window going,
I think we're going to put the child lock on now to stop her winding the window down.
No, I think we need to put the child lock on me, not the child.
We need to put
It's
the
too late. He's already learned it all.
Yeah.
Steve, I think you're right. I think they will stop things. I don't think there's any doubt. Hanky, I really do. Unfortunately, I think it's the way it's going to be.
Well, Steve, I mean, I don't want to phrase it in the wrong way, but it's very unfortunate you lost your other leg, obviously. That's a given.
Yeah.
As far as if it was going to happen no matter what, you might have hit it at a certain time as far as your care is going to be a little bit better than it could be, 6 months to a year or 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the NHS, I think, is a very, very good, is very good at what they do 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do a lot of what they need to do when they've got a government that isn't giving them what they need.
Yeah,
Well,
but
exactly.
Alana, so does Matt.
Mm.
Plus, of course, a lot of the money and the care is going to other ethnicities.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
t-
fact.
You
You
take care, Hanky.
mean some of the ones that should actually be locked up in
Yeah,
prison?
Hanky.
Yeah, so that's Dave.
See you later,
All right,
buddy.
dude.
Well, it is. It's a fact. I don't care what if I get banned. I don't care if I get police turn up here anymore. I really don't. I don't care. The fact is that you're importing people who already are sex offenders, who are murderers, are giving them our houses,
Yeah.
and then even if they get caught for a sex offence in this country, you give them a 6 month prison sentence and let them out.
Or you suspend, or it's a
Yeah,
suspended sentence
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mind you, there
because they
are.
don't have them in the prisons.
But if you're a Welsh, and this is sorry, I shouldn't say it like. If you're a newsreader and you're Welsh by the name of Hugh Edwards, you can commit child sex offences and get fuck all for it.
Yeah. I see. It's because he was Welsh. He's an ethnic minority.
Mm.
Oh, I take it you lot are laughing at fucking Alana Gwendolyn.
Yep.
Yeah, she is a character.
Or you could be a Labour politician, knock out one of your constituents, and just serve 2 days.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the mind boggles really, doesn't it? And yet you've got all of the. Oh fuck it! I might as well say that you've got all of the Rotherham and all of the sex grooming gangs that went on,
Hmm.
and the case that Keir Starmer was in charge of prosecuting and didn't prosecute half of the people he should have done and let a lot off.
Yeah, including an ex-radio DJ.
Yes, and forgot about a lot of the people who were involved in that said case, accused innocent people who were not of that ethnicity, and even threatened to put their parents in prison when the father went round to try and get the child back from a grooming gang.
Well, that's it. She got, and many more got accused of prostitution.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa's spoken to me about, she told me a lot about this, and you hear the story. When you hear the story, and honest to God, you just sit there and think, yeah. It is that bad. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like your head is
This
one actually
shit
set
went off.
back.
It's still going off.
Yeah. You see, personally, if somebody did that to Gwendolyn, it's simple. I would get hold of a gun.
Yeah.
I would.
Mm.
You're
Even my
nicer
kids,
than I am.
16 and 22.
I will go back to prison for that.
Anybody ever seen Dexter? That's the mindset that I've got going into that type of situation.
I haven't got that many sharp knives anymore, but I can probably get hold of them.
I can show knives on YouTube, right?
Well, yeah, because you're in America.
I got something that I got to show you guys.
Hey, whoa, easy target.
He's going to pull something out now. No, toilet, not that.
No. Is this something that Mike's going to be creaming himself over?
It's not like it's nice, but it's definitely a Chinese made item. It's not, but but it's
I like that.
what it is actually. Man, it is heavy as all hell. I might actually throw it on the scale to see what it actually weighs because
It might be Chinese made, but you can still sharpen it up.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. So I haven't even put the blade on this one because it's been in the plastic. It could use touched up.
Yeah,
It could definitely use touched up.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was really cool. That was a late Christmas present for my dad.
cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yes, Lisa, I agree. They should.
Yeah.
Totally. But again, it's two-tier policing. Don't forget.
No, it don't exist. That. Well, not only the police, all the fucking local fucking councillors as well that covered it up.
Yeah.
Oh, was it your local member of parliament was involved somewhere, wasn't he? Or was it Rotherham?
It were Rotherham.
Rotherham, sorry, mate. Yeah, I remember Lisa saying about she did say his name and everything. Fucking scumbag.
There was one at Barnsley once about 15 years ago, though.
Yeah, there were, but he quietly disappeared eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, Steve.
The reason I know about that one is a friend of mine was one of the lead social workers on that case. And she finished up taking early retirement because it did her head in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the trouble is this went on going all the way back, years and years, going back to the 70s. John Healy, Ken Wyatt.
And John Healy just happens to be part of the fucking Ministry of Security.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I'm shocked.
No wonder they've dropped the fucking inquest.
Well, this went on back in the 70s as well with certain members of parliament.
Yeah.
Who were caught with material of a explicit nature involving children, who got stopped by the police on the motorway, by traffic police, arrested, as should be, taken to the local station, material taken off him. A phone call went through to the desk sergeant from somebody in government, and they were told to release him with said material.
What?
That happened 5 times.
That's like you were saying there was the other person of the same type of thing that got in prison for it, and he was allowed the photos from the actual, court files in the cell.
And the government and the police wonder why people take the law into their own hands.
And said MP just happened to come from another town that had all this issue, Rochdale.
He was a certain MP of a larger build who liked to spank little boys over his knee. I won't go any further with this because it is quite disturbing.
Yeah, we don't need. Yeah,
and I don't want to put the full graphic nature of it, but that's the sort of thing he did. And he also helped in children's homes. Yeah.
So where the kids are already going through hell, just trying to survive, what's going through their lives as it is, and then to have that happen on top of it.
Yeah, it happened a lot, a hell of a lot. And yet you've still got people out there who defend them. Still to this day.
No,
you can't call them pedos. They're maps. No, they're not.
On this channel, they are pedos. They're dirty, bastard, nonce pedos.
Yep.
Sorry, I'll call it how it is. Right? You tell me what you want. That's what they are.
Are you trying to get like a angry little man?
I don't need to. I don't anything like this, mate. It gets me angry.
Oh well, yeah,
but it only gets me angry nowadays because there are still people who it's happening to as we speak, and who it's going to happen to because they're not doing anything about it.
That's the bit that gets me is because they're getting away with it. It's continuing.
Mm-hmm. You'll never, even if the police were completely onside and the government were completely onside, you will never fully stop it, ever.
No.
It's impossible. The same with like drug laws and everything. But at least if you were to really tighten down on it and start giving people the death sentence, let's say, then it would be a deterrent at least.
Yeah.
At the minute, there's no deterrent for them.
The thing is, you get certain people commenting on Twitter saying, "Oh look, why isn't this big news? These white people that have done it have been arrested and prosecuted and sent down. That's why, because they've been prosecuted and sent down. That's the fucking difference.
Yeah.
And you also get the people on X and all of the other media outlets saying we should refer to these people, like you said, as MAP.
No, we
not
shouldn't.
people.
No.
Why
Well,
would you sugarcoat something like that? I'm
The
sorry.
dirty fucking bastards, no matter what colour, creed, religion, whatever.
I mean, when most
Mhm.
people
I've said before what MAP stands for. It's malicious arsehole paedophiles.
malicious arsehole paedophile. I like that one, Bill. That's a good one. Yeah, we'll
Mm.
stick to that. Yeah, it's true. You're spot on,
No,
Bill.
it is though.
Mm.
It's sickening in every
Yeah.
possible way.
I mean, what they're doing is malicious.
And then what
They
they
are
do,
arseholes
Mhm.
and paedophiles.
and if they got sent to prison, they would be a bigger arsehole.
Oh, they would
Very
have a bigger
good.
asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would find out what
It'd
it's. They would
be
find out
rubbish,
what it's really for.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it now. I'm sure people have heard of a serial killer in the UK by the name of Robert Maudsley.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. Robert Maudsley, I'll give you a bit of a backstory. Came from Liverpool. He was abused as a child by his father, very badly, both physically and sexually, to the point of having an air rifle broken across his back when he was 7 years
Hmm.
old. I won't go into the other stuff, but as you can imagine, some pretty horrible, nasty stuff. He ran away at the age of 16 and he went to London. And he got abused again in London. He got taken home by an individual who was a paedophile and who sexually abused him. Robert didn't take it very well and decided to go back and finish him. He went back and he killed the paedophile. He then went and handed himself into the police. Okay. Currently he is serving he's just coming up to his 46th year in prison.
Yeah.
Right? 44 of those years have been on his own in a glass cell.
Like full isolation?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've just moved him from Wakefield and they moved him to HMP Whitehall.
Yeah.
He killed 2 people inside who were both paedophiles. I say, okay.
Mhm.
I have actually sat in, when I was in Wakefield, I was sat in there's a doctor's like hospital wing. I was sat opposite Robert Maudsley. I've actually met the man. And he's actually a very nice bloke. He's actually he is a bit strange because of the amount of hours he spends on his own. But he's actually quite a nice bloke. Very, very intelligent man. Perfectly normal. But they continue to keep him in prison because they say he's too dangerous. I don't think he is. I say release him. If you can keep him in,
You know what it'll be? It's because he will have no remorse because what he did was right.
he has no
Wait,
remorse.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Why should he have remorse for killing a
Yeah.
paedophile?
But
Yeah.
if you want to get out early, you've got to show remorse. How can he have remorse for doing what was right?
Correct.
There's so many
At
people.
least with the other 2 he killed, he's saving the taxpayer a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just put him on normal wing. Put him on a normal wing duty and let him on the normal wing because I'll tell you what, it would change very quickly with somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes.
There'd be a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would, Lisa. I'm not saying that I can't say people should go out and start taking the law into their own hands and killing every paedophile because.
No, but the Boondock Saints looks real tempting, don't it?
But But the way the law is in this country now, it's going to get to a point where people are going to take the law into their own hands,
Mm.
Yeah.
and that's dangerous. But we've got a police force that does fuck all to help us. So
I mean, it's like our police force here. They're focused on other things. In their eyes, or what they've been told to be, is more important. But you're letting all these, other individuals just go around and do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Hi, Martin.
hey, up, Martin.
Hey, Martin.
What?
I won't exactly call me a professional, dude.
Well, he's professional at a lot of things.
Well,
None of us are sure what they are, but
Well, he's a professional wind-up merchant.
this is true.
that's most of us in here, mate.
Although I did
yeah.
although I did like Marty's comment on a certain Scottish reviewer's post that he put.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God, what did I miss?
No.
I got
Something about a certain Scottish reviewer doing some more pissing and moaning.
Mm.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically that, and it was. Everybody else was in there with, oh, poor Vic. Oh,
it's so
Victor,
bad.
it's awful. Come here, Victor. Yeah.
He's been demonetized. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and
well,
what did he do? He went to Ayrshire and blew a battery factory up.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mm.
It must have been. He's pissing and moaning because nobody's paying for him to go to fucking Expo.
Well,
nobody's paid for me to go to Expo.
nobody's ever paid me. Well,
That'd
be like me pissing and moaning, going, "Oh God, I've got to pay entrance fee to go into a guitar show." Well, duh.
Well, did you want to go? Yeah. Well, did you pay? Yeah. Well, shut up. Yeah. No, but
I'll say best of it is, he'll be like us. He wouldn't pay for the tickets anyway.
I just saw the comment. Oh shit!
I think I paid
I come up
£1.99 booking fee for the free ticket.
I can't fault Martin. If Martin just said it out.
Yeah, I think that was about it. That's all you have to pay, though.
Hey, I wonder if Vic will pay for a U.S. coil manufacturer now. I'll be your supporter. I swear, I can ship for free.
And usually on the day, the Members Hub website goes down anyway, so they just normally flag people in anyway, whether they've got tickets or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Members Hub's. Oh yeah, go on and give you so you don't have to. Yeah.
I purposely keep him as a friend, Lisa, because in case he puts anything stupid, which he will do at some point. He has done.
Which he does on a regular basis.
There's been so many times last month I've wanted to comment things and just have a smartest response. But I'm like, I'm just going to let this ride. I'm just going to keep him there and not let him get, realize I'm there and just keep watching the stupidity that flows.
I think Martin saw it and just went, fuck it. It was a fucking it was another fucking moment. I just don't get it. But, if you're lucky enough, if you become a reviewer of beer, whatever it is, and you're lucky enough to get gifted stuff and people pay for your tickets and things like that, awesome. Good luck to you. Yeah, that's great. But not everybody does.
No.
So get over it. You can't demand.
No, and don't start pissing and moaning when people don't send you free stuff and don't pay for your tickets.
Yeah.
Maybe Nigel Farage will pay for his tickets. He's gone from a socialist.
But if Farage gets in, who's going to pay for his eye surgery? Pre-existing condition.
Well, he'd have to pay for it himself, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You'll just get all his patrons to pay for it.
I mean, that is
They're
one
on
of,
the decline.
that's one of Farage's things, isn't it? Wants to go over to an American insurance-based health system.
I mean, you've only got to look at America and ask Tyler. I mean, it works so well.
Yeah. Mm.
I would literally rather deal with whatever sickness comes along and grab something over the counter and hopefully get past it than go to a doctor half the time.
Well, exactly, Martin.
Yeah, mainly because you can't afford to go to the doctor.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even if you go to the Minute Clinic, which is like the local town version of like the ER that you can go in for quick medications and checkups and everything.
Oh, medication. That's why it's only a minute.
Last time I took my daughter up there for flu, whatever it was, she was there for 15 minutes. The bill was over $450.
Yeah.
For antibiotics and her being seen.
So
And that's with my insurance. Keep that in mind. I have decent insurance.
Yeah. In this country, that's free because it's a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and when I was friends with him, Lisa, I remember Vic one year, it might have been 2017, but he, not only did he get his hotel room paid for, his meals paid for by other people, his beer paid for by other people. He even got I can't remember who it was now. It was something to do with Amanda. It was whoever Amanda was seeing at the time. She was still seeing fucking Frankenlurch.
Yeah.
The Irish reviewer. I can't think of his name now. He
No.
gave Vic,
Yeah.
he gave Vic money so he could get food on the way home. I'm sorry, if I was at that lower level where I was that much of a scamming bastard, I'd give up. I'd just put a bullet in my own head.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm not doing this. And believe me, I've been skint before, been really skint. But
I mean,
even last year when I lost my independence payment, I was never that skint.
no.
yeah,
I mean, fair enough. I have got Patreon, but I don't push it down people's throats every 5 minutes.
It comes up
Yeah,
in chat.
it comes up on lives and it's in description of video. I don't put a baked in thing for it to come up.
You don't stop mid review for 15 minutes and talk about your Patreon and subscribe stars and all that crap, and then continue with what you're going to do.
No.
It's if somebody wants to donate, fine. That's awesome. That's good. Brilliant. If they don't want to donate, okay.
Exactly.
Do you know what I found funniest? If you watch his videos, I still come up on his list of Patreons.
Do you really?
But you haven't been a Patreon for
3 years.
3
years. I stopped being a Patreon of his when I lost my ESA.
Mm.
Yeah.
That shows how often he updates all his baked in ads.
And what happened to Vic's channel on Facebook is only for stuff that he is using or people who give him mods for reviews.
Yeah.
Because everybody's bunging shit on there now.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I really give a care. I don't care about that, but
I find it hilarious that I'm still listed there under the Patreons, and it's like not been a Patreon for a long time.
Well, think about it. If you updated that list, you'd have 3 people on there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
And 2 of those are only because they'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What is that subscription I forgot about?
Well, I went and I just cancelled all of my YouTube subscriptions because I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And I then went through and I cancelled most of my Patreons as well.
Yeah.
and I was only using the YouTube subscriptions for people who didn't have Patreon that I supported.
Yeah.
I remember up until probably 18 months. It was 18 months ago. Sean still had the Misfits email account going. And the Patreon, what went into that Misfits email account, which I still had the password to.
Yeah.
And dumbass didn't change it.
Nope.
He also, at one point, the name came up, The Misfits, okay? The show. I bought, when I fell out with him, I owned that name. I own it
Yeah.
on daddy.com. I own the rights to that name. So he could never ever use it. I made sure it got sold. So it went somewhere else. Somebody else has got it. I made sure it went anywhere else but Sean ever using it again.
Yeah.
I made a point of him never using it again because I refused to let it happen.
Well, especially how everything ended. No.
That's what it was. It is what it was, mate. It taught me a few things. It is what it is. I ain't worried about that now. I'm really not. I was more angry at the way he treated a lot of people who were in the chat, because there's still a lot of people who were helped by that, and by him doing what he did, they felt he'd shit on them, which he had.
It took me a long time to get myself, back to trying to regulate my own emotions without having the show there every week.
People
it was a big part of a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it teaches you a lesson, mate, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, between him and Lynn, they just tried to stop me being interactive with people and actually help.
You had to be one of the chosen few who was round the witch's cauldron, mate.
No, you had to have the proper last name.
Oh, talking of witches, evening, Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, mate.
Hi, Mike.
The Womble Warlock has arrived. The Wimbledon Womble Warlock.
That was horrendous the way you were treated, Mike.
Well,
It's like my way of looking at it is, Mike, and I hope you're well, by the way, buddy. Is you learn by your mistakes or whatever, but it does leave a bit of a bad taste in your mouth, as it were. Yeah. You just make sure it doesn't happen again with things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's situations like that and people like that burn their own bridges to where it is what it is.
Yeah, they do. And eventually they run out of bridges to burn, mate, because always they will burn it. They will screw themselves up. They will. But that is what it is.
No, you're right, Martin. He is not a good streamer. He never was a good streamer. That was what always got me about him doing Twitch and making a big deal of it.
No, but remember, I was part of the whole Twitch thing when he first started doing that. It was the same thing. It was the same thing as the Misfits, though. He had certain people in chat, certain people in chat, and it turned into a whole little, clicky high school drama type bullshit again. Immediately.
To me, it's like the Twitch thing. If you're doing gaming, you need to be either, if you're a bloke, you need to be really good at streaming and really good with your audience. And there are some phenomenal gamers out there and streamers who are really, really, not my thing. It's not my to just sit and watch somebody play. But there are some good people who've done very, very well for themselves. Or you need to be about 22 to 25, have double D tits, and a low cut top. Well, I've got the double
or a
T-
bikini.
I've got the double D tits. I just,
Yeah, I think we all have.
you've got to have a certain amount of talent, and you've got to be able to like
It's
keep
took me
avoiding
54 years to grow these.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I mean, at least with like Nick, you know, Nick's channel. At least with Nick, it's like just being with chatting with a mate. You can have a laugh. It's always
Of course,
funny.
some of the games he plays, it's more interactive where people who are watching can join in.
Oh yes, yeah. He's banned me from playing certain games on his channel, but that's a whole other story.
A certain Cards Against Humanity, would that be?
Yes. Well, it was.
What was another one we used to do?
Cards Against Humanity.
No, there was another one that was an online based one that was just as bad.
There was Cards Against Humanity. There was.
Oh shoot! I can't remember.
I blame Jenny Sin. I'm blaming Miss Sin. Jenny said to me, she said, "Oh, come and play Cards of Humanity on Nick's channel." Jenny, you sure this is a good idea? She said, yeah, it'd be funny you doing it because you know, I know what you're like. You'll come out with some. Right, okay. Can I say anything I want? Yeah. It'll be fine. Nick's face a couple of times, it was like he just like, oh shit, we're gonna get mugged.
Yeah, the trouble is the few times I went in and played, if you and me were both playing, fuck.
Yeah, that's it. If anybody is into the art stuff,
yeah,
Nick does a lot of art.
Nick does, Jenny.
And Jenny,
she started to get back into it.
Jenny
G does every now and again.
Jenny's artwork is fucking hell. She is good.
Yeah,
she really is absolutely tops at it. And if anybody wants,
that did My Little Wizard with the two guitars, and that was just a quick off the cuff. I think it took her an hour to do that.
Yeah. That's no shock, Mike. Irish was always like that.
We're not going to bring up Irish. That's a whole nother back and forth of.
There is one creepy little individual, that bloke.
Yeah.
The way, and I've seen some of the messages he used to send to Jenny, and all I'm going to say is,
oh God, I can only fucking imagine.
Yeah.
He was already forward enough just in chat. I couldn't imagine in private message.
Oh, he offered a hand in marriage, and
he's bad enough in a Discord as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know who he reminds me of? And this, if Craig is watching this, I don't mean it in a nasty way. He's kind of like Craig, but you know how Craig comes out with stupid shit unintentionally. He sort of puts his foot in it without meaning to. He goes too far because Craig.
Yeah, but that's just because he's Welsh.
Because the brain sort of goes into stutter mode, and Craig, bless him.
That's when he has his Viagra instead of his sleeping tablets.
Yeah, gets lodged in his throat and he gets a long neck.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Craig, but Craig at least realises. He'll realise and then he'll go, oh, shit. Well, I'm really sorry about what I said, blah, blah, blah. You shit.
I mean, Craig was misused by a couple of people.
Definitely. One that does not live too far away from me.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He was well and truly. Although, you know,
eventually he did see the light.
He did snap at one point and nearly put Aiden's wall through head through.
Nearly put Aiden through a wall, yeah.
Well, I'd love to have seen that for a thought. That'd have been quite a good punch.
We could have got that on stream.
That's pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have sold a lot of tickets for that one.
Yeah, it was. I totally agree, Lisa. That was total, absolute abuse.
Yeah. I was trying to be polite, Lisa.
Yeah.
Mate, say it.
Same again. He's got his little fucking cauldron of people and all them, hasn't he?
Yeah, say it how it is. If you want, Bill, I don't care. But it's,
it was abuse.
Well, I know there were stories of going back to the whole Expo thing. Aiden didn't pay very much to go to Expo.
No.
Craig did though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he makes accusations about certain other people that weren't true.
Yeah. He makes certain allegations of things that were said in private rooms and says things, but yeah, we won't go too far down that way and bring up that, because that could turn into a real fucking. Yeah, his comeuppance will come one day.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I know, Lisa, you're quite free to say whatever you like.
As they say, karma is a bitch.
I'll be honest, all I can say is it's lucky for Aiden that I wasn't in the room that particular night.
I think that's why it didn't. Because certain people they know will say something, right?
Yeah.
So they tend to sort of think, oh, shit, so-and-so's here, I better keep my gob shut.
Yeah.
Especially if they've had a few too many of the old ales and can't control it. The mouth starts and they don't shut up.
Mm.
Hey, Martin,
the buckle of vodka.
I say he learned a long time ago that I won't put up with some of the shit that he used to come out with. I just won't.
we've talked, I mean, you know, Lisa, we've talked about it, and I always try and talk about Cookie in a respectful way. I always do and always will.
Yeah.
Obviously. But when somebody talks about a situation like that, which is not an easy situation to talk about under any circumstances,
No.
and talk about it in the way it was spoken about.
Like I say, all I can say is he's looking I wasn't in that room that night, because
Yeah,
Mark would have been going to a funeral.
it's why when Mark was on last time, he said about Aiden's ill and Aiden this and that, and I just had to sit here and kind of go, okay, yeah, I'll do. I had to sort of wind my neck in and just, oh, right.
Yeah, but that was respect for Mark.
Don't open your mouth, Matt. Shut up.
Don't do it. Don't
Like
do
I
it.
said, that was respect for Mark. Not Aiden.
He wouldn't have done it to your face, Lisa. He guaranteed, or yours or Liz, because he knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
Right? It's
fucking head ripped off.
And it's like you say, you've both been very open about a situation that is a fucking terrible thing.
Yeah.
Both been very open and talk about it. As hard as it is at times.
We were on your old show. We talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it helped one or two people out, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think shows like, I think that does, because obviously, unfortunately, it does go on a lot more often than people realise.
It does.
It's a terrible thing.
it's on that list of things people try not to talk about.
Yeah, but this is what I always said on that, on the Misfit show, is I wanted to deal with that stuff, the stuff that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even said, I turned around one week and Jenny was up for doing this, which puzzled, because I wanted to do a show on fetishes, right? I wanted to do a semi-serious, because it wasn't going to stay completely serious with me involved, but I wanted to do a show on it because it comes under the mental health thing of what people and how people deal with different things in life. Sean's face when I told him this, it was like, when you tell your granny you've just had oral sex for the first time, it was that kind of face. I thought, Jesus Christ, you must be boring with your missus, mate. What, what goes on goes on. If it's between a couple and it's legal.
Yeah, and it's consensual.
Exactly, Lisa. No, you shouldn't never accept anybody for telling them bullshit about you guys. Ever. Never. And that obviously, and I will, we know who told you, and full credit to him for doing it.
Yeah.
And we also know who else was in that room and involved in some of those chats.
Yeah.
Vindictive little bastards. I won't say what material pictures we have on a certain person who is in that chat, but
Oh, my eyes. Oh, my eyes.
payback is a bitch, motherfucker.
Exactly. Mariah once said.
Did you, Tyler?
Problem is, I know who you're talking about, right? Right. We'll leave it there. And I know there was a certain other person that we all love so much that went and visited that person. I wonder if the same situation happened over that weekend. It would make sense why favors exchange hands as far as,
Do you know, I hadn't actually thought about
that. They might have shared glands as well as hands.
See, if you build my RDA for me, that okay, I'm leaving it there. I got Matt to put his head down and shake his head. That's a goal right there.
Hey, there's no kink shaming.
Hey, Mike, if you like sucking on toes, that's entirely up to you. Oh dear.
I'm not even gonna say it.
I was going to say, if you like that, just see if Steve can let you have his old ones.
I was going to say, if we switch this direction to ears, we can at least a little bit.
You've just gone from toe sucking to toe necrophilia. Well done, Bill. You just dropped the show to a whole new level.
It's a gift.
Remember earlier, Matt, in the private chat about us all going to hell? I think Bill just drove that last nail right into that board.
We've been on that highway to hell for donkey's years.
My foot's quite hard down on the throttle. Bill's got both of his feet on top of mine, pushing as hard as he can, I tell you. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. On a serious note, or for at least 30 seconds, is there actually any news on what's going on with the vaping stuff, Bill?
Not really, no, not this week.
I said 30 seconds.
No, there's been nothing that's actually anything other than editorial comments.
Hey,
You know,
Martin,
there's-
at least we're all old enough. When this stupid shit we did when we were kids is not online.
Thank God.
There were no smartphones about when we were kids, thank Christ.
Yeah.
Even the house phone was
But
connected
the
to the wall.
problem with that is
That-
there's always that shoebox that you forgot about that your kid's going to find. You don't want that.
Hey, don't worry. Anything that's like that, I've got a lockbox in here. It's stuff locked away.
And
Mind
Matt,
you, you'll probably
we have
find
to
them.
circle all the way back to the chaps again. This always happens with you.
You leave my leather chaps out of this.
Well,
Yeah, but the thing is, he wears his leather chaps without pants underneath.
Yeah, what else would
yeah,
you do?
yeah, I mean, there is that, Lisa, but so far that just sounds like a lot of hot air.
That's,
No, not without
that's,
pants.
that's just a Labour government full stop, though, isn't it? Hot air.
Yeah. Yeah, but the idea that Labour are going to start taking British Steel back to save the last blast furnace. I don't know why they want to save it. It's in fucking Scunthorpe.
I don't know why they want to save Scunthorpe myself, but
That's what I mean.
I can see a murder happening down south sometime this evening.
I didn't know you were into rave music, Craig.
Big box, little box, big box, little box.
It's not the light going up. The light's going to go bang in a minute. The bulb.
Not just the light, the whole fucking electric.
Well,
Or
yeah,
suitable.
it is, Lisa. But there was brief discussion about them trying to take it back into government ownership.
And how are we going to buy it back? What with?
Yeah,
But don't forget we've got a £22 billion black hole,
Yeah,
allegedly.
allegedly.
Rachel
Yeah.
Reed's mouth.
Oh, a mouth. Sorry.
Happy fucking time.
No, it's all right. It's all right. You just have to be careful. You know, make sure the leather's well treated. You're all right, Martin. It's not a problem. I sounded too like I knew what I was talking about there. Didn't it?
And if not, you can get ointment for it.
Yeah, you can.
That's it. From what I've heard, secret is lanolin on the inside of the leather.
This show has gone from ridiculous to.
No, the way to do it is to stop the money laundering. I mean, foreign aid.
Mm.
Do you reckon they'd take Keir Starmer as part exchange for British Steel?
Oh, wish they would.
That'd be a pretty good exchange, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the IQ rates are higher.
It would definitely be in our benefit.
You get
Well,
a dollar.
when I keep seeing all these ministers abroad in whichever country, it's like, you can fucking keep them. We don't want them back.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I mean, you've got to say some of them are superb at what they do. Just look at David Lammy.
No, I'd rather not.
No.
He's super.
No,
Yeah.
have you guys heard of the new thing with that one of Trump's officials came out with like yesterday, day before about autism? Apparently, he is. Mind you, you have to go back through and look at all of his previous statements over the years because I'll have to send them to you guys. It's that funny of a list of things he thinks are true, right? He is convinced that autism is caused by exposure to either food coloring or environmental like sprays for insects, or basically saying that it's something that is inflicting on our children and it's environmentally based, and we need to stop this because these autistic children will not only be affected by it, but it's
See you later,
ruining
Steve.
families.
Take care.
It's ruining families.
You
See you
take
later,
care,
Stevie.
All right,
Everybody.
Steve. See you
All right,
later,
Steve,
bud.
have a good night, buddy. He said that autistic children will never write a poem. They will never drive a car. They will never use the bathroom by themselves. They will never have a relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the current. What
I was
we're
going to
dealing
say, I'm well on the spectrum with Asperger's.
Yeah, but Bill does
I've
keep
done
missing the
all of
toilet.
those things.
Yeah, right.
Apart from the toilet,
My
he
son
keeps
is not
missing
even
the
that old, and
toilet.
he is,
Yeah.
Well, I was going to gloss over that.
That's what the trouble is. sorry, Tyler. Go on.
But no, that's just it. Though. I mean, you can see if you watch the way things are being said and introduced, they're the exact same things that happen with like Down syndrome and stuff like that. What was it, 30s to 50s around there, where you had people getting institutionalized because they were troubled youth or whatever, when they actually needed help.
Now go and look at the Nazi government of 40s Germany.
I brought that up yesterday in conversation with somebody, actually, funny enough.
What do we do with the disabled people? Oh, let's put them in an internment camp.
Oh, and the southern states are trying to reintroduce segregation.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's getting bad. It's getting very bad, very quick.
Tyler, you mean they haven't?
It's getting
There
more open to where it would actually be like you could put signs in a business and say this or that,
So
Yeah,
no,
but-
black people can't drink from the same tap, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah, but there are some towns in the southern states where there are most definitely black
Oh,
areas and
yeah.
white areas,
Oh yeah.
and the two will not cross.
Yeah, but what annoys me with this is how can racism be so widespread in America still?
Well, I think Trump went off about a month ago because
I wish he would.
in the
That
in
explains the
these
smell.
history museums, they have a special exhibit just for African American history.
Yeah.
He freaked out because they have a complete separate, section for that part of history.
My issue with this Black Lives Matter stuff, okay, and having Black History Month and Pakistani History Month and Chinese, why not have America History Month?
Yeah.
Or UK History Month, or hey up, G.
All
Oh, Jay.
Oh,
If
you're
it's
right.
Scot-
Thank you, G. You're right.
If it's Scotland, you have a Scottish History Month, or Welsh, or whatever. That's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. But you don't need to say black, white. Because if we say, let's have a white history month, we're racist.
Oh, that'd be popping off in a whole different way. Oh, yeah.
And we know that you've got a lot of neo-Nazis in America. A lot.
Oh,
Well, look at ever since Trump got back in office this last time. There have been more and more issues with, there's a dozen people with masks on and Nazi symbols and rifles walking through a small town.
It's a shame he's dead now, bless him. But I'm going to say Tom Silverstein for president. If you don't know who Tom Silverstein was, look the name up. Tom Silverstein was the American president of the Aryan Brotherhood.
Oh, geez.
yep.
He was the real deal. He was actually had an IQ of over 160. Now, the dangerous thing with somebody like that is you've got somebody who's quite willing to kill people. And even if you put him in a prison cell on his own, he's still communicating with the Aryan Brotherhood. He was that's why they made Supermax.
At that point. Oh, yeah.
That's why they made Supermax prisons, was for him. One man.
I think we should have some of them over here as well.
What, the Aryan Brotherhood?
No, the Supermax prison, you dickhead.
White power. White power. That's it. I fucked it. We lost the channel.
Flick the light off.
I could have done that. White power.
Oh,
Be careful, people will start calling you Phil Anselmo.
Oh God. You know, actually talking about that, does anybody? I don't think Phil was making. I think it was just Phil being an idiot and coming out with something he didn't mean.
That's not like Phil.
Well, we all know Phil's a bit stupid at times, bless him. I actually like Phil. I do. Certainly in his younger days, Phil had a great life. He really did. Nowadays, it's not so good. Although it has come back a bit.
Yeah.
It needed to. I
It
heard
hard, didn't it?
I heard part of his black metal project. Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
It couldn't. It just wasn't there.
No.
What it sounded to me was like somebody who's never done any sort of metal trying to do a black metal cover. It was just weak.
And I best not tell you what I've just seen on the Earache website.
Go on.
They've got quite a few Bathory LPs on picture disc.
Ooh.
And a few bolt thrower.
A bolt thrower.
I'll make you spend your fucking money. That's the one, Scour. Yeah, couldn't remember the name of it.
back to the vape scene and everything. You guys see about Phil and Dimitri?
No.
They separated from Anakin.
Oh,
They fully separated. Anakin and Phil and Dimitri put separate posts up saying that it was completely mutual because they want to go on to different companies and start developing new things that way. So Anakin is going to stay with the same product line, same coil line they've had with them for the years and keep producing them while they go a separate way.
Wow.
I know. What, 9 years now they've been together?
Oh,
Gotta
easy.
be.
I think they said it was 8 years of consistent, working together.
Yeah. 2016, wasn't it? They started.
Yes, that'll be 9 years ago.
It was when George. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2017 when the first platform stuff started coming out.
It was when George first took over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bollocks.
Thing is, I can't see there being much vape stuff come out, to be honest.
No.
Yeah. I don't. I think.
Well, like I said, I took the gamble on that Torrent 30, and I was surprised it was actually as decent as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 30. You definitely have to put decent coils into it and put enough power through it.
Yeah.
It's good for what it is, and it's built well. The only issue is the O-rings on the actual deck for the top cap. The tolerance is not done right. So it's easy enough, pull your cap off, but you get that juice that goes down past the O-rings below the actual clipper.
Yeah, but that's quite common.
Well, that's also really easy fixable if you get a nice set of O-rings and a variety pack and just find something that works a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yep.
So about 130 watts then.
I mean, I think I've been running this one because 0.19, 3.5 aliens, all nichrome. I mean, I've been running this one about 120 until a couple of the disposable users in the family today decided they literally both had disposable in their hand. We bought these yesterday, and the flavors are horrible. I'm like, there you go. Go ahead, try it. I dare you. Funniest fucking moment. I get it for kind of hot. 6 6 milligram per dripper. So if you're not used to it, that is a bit much. But you're used to a 50 milligram disposable constantly. So you would think it would be semi, oh no, killed both of them instantly.
Just give them a 21,700 stacked on a series at a 0.27.
I might have turned it to 175 watts and hit it in front of me and like, it ain't that bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Honestly, you'd be surprised because of the airflow and the insert setup with this and being all machine metal and everything. You can actually push the wattage pretty easily on this RDA, and you don't get a hot top cap off it.
That's good.
Like there.
I'm trying not to cloud the room up.
Yeah,
I've gone old.
And the flavor is actually really good off of it at 175 even.
We've gone old school.
Oh, you put that one on.
Technically, I'm vaping series at 150 at the minute.
Oh, just wait till Tuesday, Matt, when all that wire gets here.
Yeah, you can start doing those micro aliens.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I got 30 gauge and I got 38, so I'm going to see what I can do for a Boro alien.
What it's going to end up with is a pile of wire.
It's just going to end up with
well, he starts doing all them braided ones, and they'll go, "Oh, my fucking fingers!"
It's going to be going through.
I spent hours, Lee, and it just fills your hand.
That whole room's just going to look like a kid's squiggle, isn't it?
It'd be going through to Nova, going, "Can you cut this wire?"
It's like Matt with the Etch-a-Sketch before he shakes it.
I told you, just get G to fucking teach you how to do them.
Yeah.
Like I said, his tutorials I've had saved for years. I've watched them numerous times, and I've tried a few of them.
Yeah.
First off, that I can't remember what it was. One of the Celtic braids he did that was like 10, 12 cores, something like that crazy braid shit. You don't have enough fingers to even loop that properly.
He's done Celtic and Spanish braids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else he's tried. If
He had other stuff on there before.
Gee, wake up!
I must admit, I like the look of the Celtics.
Oh, they're beautiful clothes if you can get them right. I've gotten a couple made over the years with higher gauges, lower gauges to be a little bit easier to work with, because I've tried, the 34, 36 gauge to do the actual weaving. That stuff gets tangled so fast, and trying to keep the tension right is ridiculous.
Well, when you do my Boro Spanish braided Boro coils, I want them in NI90 as well.
In 42 gauge, I'm sure.
Yes. Just to fuck you up.
I would just like a set of those 8-core Celtics that he did.
You've only got to go and watch some of the. When G was, you used to come in G's. Why?
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Oh yeah. I remember me and G met back from Nick Devine.
Yeah.
Before I even was part of the Misfits.
Some of the coils that people, not just G, other people were doing. Some of them were fucking.
I remember back when I was full-time building that. Do you remember the Overkill aliens that I made that were like a 16-ply frame staple alien?
Yeah.
You could barely fit them in the Ocula to glow the coils.
I'm sorry, G. It's terrible. You've known him for so long.
I actually thought about
it. He's going to therapy next week for it.
It's got to be at least 6 years I've known G by this point.
It grows on you like fungus.
And it doesn't go away like herpes. I know, Matt. I know.
I did not use it. I did not use the herpes comment.
Mm-hmm.
You're quiet this week, right? What's up?
I'm no quieter than usual.
Well, he had his light shut off on him for a minute. He had to figure out what was going on.
He's too busy what he's going to do to kids during middle at night when he's asleep.
Yeah. So apart from being abused by Theo, what else have you been up to?
Right.
I went for a test drive on Wednesday for a MG Chess.
Yeah.
Very nice car, but I wasn't overly keen on it. Went on Friday with the wife, no kids, to a place in Plymouth that had some Volkswagen Tiguans and had a test drive of a diesel R-Line Tiguan.
Very nice.
So I've made my decision that I'm going to buy a Volkswagen Tiguan.
Fair dues.
I say
Cool.
they have a good reputation of the Tiguan.
Yeah, and it was really nice, really smooth with a DSG automatic gearbox as well, and yeah. So
I mean,
that's what,
I can't wait to actually get my new car.
So,
Were
Craig,
you-
what
were
told,
you
what told you
forgetting
already? Did it handle like a bus?
right?
I said, what sold you on the car? Did it handle like a bus?
No, it was just really nice. Plus, also the Volkswagens are a little bit better made, especially if it's like the Chinese MG. My brother had said when I spoke to him the other day that he's got a couple of colleagues at work that have got them in Austrian petrol because the MGs are only petrol.
It depends what you use it for, the MG, because as you know, I got one. Over a longer distance, I get good fuel consumption.
Mm.
If you're just round town all the time, not so great, yeah.
You see, I go do town runs mainly, up and down to work, drop the wife at work, pick up the kids from school, that sort of thing. So there's going to be more.
It's not the best place for a diesel
This is true.
because it clogs it up.
Well, like last weekend, I was driving my stepdad's truck and it's petrol. It has the readouts for miles per gallon average use, all blah blah. Just on the highway and back, that's highway miles, 14 miles a gallon average.
14.
Keep,
1-4.
now keep in mind, he does window washing for a living, so he has an industrial like $17,000 pressure washing unit in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
So keep weight in mind,
Yeah.
But still, 14 miles to the gallon on average.
Yeah, but that's where a diesel would have been better.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I want to say that new one I've just got. We took it for a run to coast and back. There and back, I averaged 65 to gallon. And at the minute, I filled it up a couple of days back, and just round town, I'm getting 52-ish.
Wow.
That's good.
Mm.
It's good fuel consumption, mate. I do wonder how, because I tend to ignore the numbers that the dashboard puts out, and then I work them out, how much fuel I've put in, and then work it out from there. Because those trip computers are not always accurate.
No.
Mm.
They're really not. But there's just getting too much shit on cars now, like ADAS system, and it's doing me fucking head in with all that.
I mean, that's one of the nice things about what I'm getting. It's old enough to know some of the shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
What year did you end up going with, Bill?
Hmm?
What year is that car you end up going with?
2011.
See, that's about right, though. If you're going to do...
Mm.
Because, I can't agree with the new cars. I just can't. Between the electrical issues, the fact of how much computerism and bullshit sensors are and everything, all that.
There are ways round things like ADAS.
It's about the right age range.
ADAS is the stay in your lane and it brakes for you in case and all. Look, if I want to drive into the car in front, just let me fucking drive into the twat in front. It's
Yeah,
hopeless though. You can be in a car park, somebody walks across in front of you and the car brakes for you, unless you've turned it off. If somebody's stupid enough to walk across in front of me, tough shit, I'm running you over.
Damn right.
Well, that's
Fuck
like the
you.
Tesla. They get too close to you and you happen to accidentally hit your brakes a little bit hard in front of them. Their entire automatic system goes into a dead stop in the middle of the road.
Yeah, you can have fun with that actually. But I'll tell you that story after. But I just don't like the way cars are, because it's now going to be, and governments, there is even talk of them bringing in this thing of them being able to control
Oh yeah.
the speed.
Oh, like governors?
Well, no,
No,
because
this is GPS based.
it's
Oh,
GPS. It's
yeah.
the ADAS
Okay.
system, which automatic detection, safety. It's not a load of bollocks. What it'll do is, if the car goes over a certain speed, it'll just kill your engine.
Yeah.
And if they can control that, which they can, it means you can't speed. That's me
Yeah.
fucked.
That's
When
it.
I
I
come
can,
down the
I
road
can see
that-
next couple of years, all new cars will have a black box fitted. That's,
Well,
that's government
Think how
control.
dangerous that really is, though. They don't recognize where you're at, where the traffic conditions are, and what's actually happening. They cut engine power because you go over a certain miles per hour, or whatever, kilometers per hour, however you want to look at it, and you end up in a rear end, accident and everything else because your car just stopped.
Yep. What they want is cars to be like trains. Effectively, the car will be controlled by the government, so you just sit there and do fuck all. I don't give a fuck how bad my knee is, how bad my back is. I will get back on a bike if it happens. That you can take that to a fucking bank.
Yep.
If I have to strap my walking stick to the side, I'll be back on a bike.
Well, look how many self-driving cars over here that are used as like Ubers are pulled over on the daily
Yeah.
basis. They run through, stop signs, red lights, whatever.
Yeah, because they're not set up right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's some really good things like, mine's got radar, cruise control. So if you're driving down a motorway, it'll slow down for the car in front and speed up and things. That's great. If you're on a long trip, that's great. Really useful. Don't have an issue with that. Even I don't have an issue with like parking sensors and warnings if some muppet walks behind you. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue when the car is trying to take over what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
When I started driving with things like Mark II Escorts and Capris and
Cars you drive.
a safety device on a Mark II Escort was considered a seatbelt. If you were lucky. Yeah,
I can tell you my first car, but you just look at me.
And the rear seat belts were optional extras.
Yeah.
My first car was a Mini, and I was 14. And I rebuilt that.
Now, my first car was a 94 Olds 88.
We all started somewhere, mate, and it was usually with my son. I was quite proud of my son because I said I didn't do what most parents do now, which is like, yo, here you go, son. I'll sign my paperwork and you can have a £10,000 car.
Yeah.
I turned around to him and said, I'll help you. Yeah. I'll help you with your driving lessons. I'll even help you with your insurance. I'll even help you if your car needs work. But I ain't paying for it. You want a car, you pay for it. You fuck up and crash it, your problem.
That's what I did when I was a kid. You
And give him his due. Yes, he did have an accident. He fucked up, And his fucking mother did the. I told you he drives him. I said, hold on a minute. I said, when I first met you, you couldn't drive. You learned to drive. I said, within 2 weeks of driving, you wrote my fucking car off. I said, it wasn't even your own. I said, so you could shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I said, all right, he's fucked up. He's crashed his car. It was like bumper light indicator. So I went down the scrapyard, got the bits. It cost me about 40 quid or something. Came round my house at the time, fitted it all for him, patched it up, bit of spray work. I said, just take it steady, which I knew he wouldn't. He's my son. He's going to drive like a fucking lunatic.
We all have.
I knew that.
Statistically, particularly for lads, it's a 50-50 whether or not you're going to write off your first car.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Women are generally
And 25% of those are going to be in the first 3 months.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The best one with my son, I'll embarrass you now, Liam, because I know Liam does watch this sometimes. I was driving down to a mate's house and I'm doing about 80 going down this road near me. Nice open road, about 4 mile stretch of road. And I'm cruising down there at 80 and I look in the mirror and I see this car go, whoa, in and out of cars. Just like, and I caught a shot of the number plate and I thought, I recognise that number plate because he had a private plate on, which I bought him. I was like, I recognise that. So I dropped it down, booted it past about 5 cars. I thought, he's still coming. Got to the next roundabout, round and roundabout, out of the roundabout. Cheeky little cunt comes out the roundabout. You know, you have the fucking white lines. And then there was like the brake, you've got hatch marks.
Yep.
He went between me, the hatch marks, passed on the wrong side of the road through the traffic lights. And bootsy passed. I was like... And I pulled up and I looked at him. And he looked like he thought I was going to have a go at him. And I just went, well, I see where you got that from, don't I? So he came, I'll tell you another one. He came to me and he says to me one day, he said, Dad, he went, you give good advice.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what are you on about? Well, thank you, but... I said, that's not normally.
I need more than that, yeah.
He went, well, I was coming home the other night from seeing my mates in town. I went, yeah, because there's still quite a big sort of cruise scene over here, driving there and meeting up. Like. And I was getting followed by a copper. I went, how fast were you going down the dual carriageway? Well, it's doing about 90. He's a 40 limit and he's doing 90. And he's gone flying past his police car, sees the police car, turned round to come after him, did what I told him, which is don't back off, flick your lights off, but hold your main beam on, gets home, parks up in the drive, goes in the house, never got caught. He got 3 points. He's got 3 points once, which is pretty good going because he's now doing track days. Thank fuck that. The one that scares me at the minute, Dad, I think I'm going to do my bike test. Oh, fuck.
Oh, God. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't. Please don't.
You know, if you do, you're going to get that phone call. Oi, he's done fucking Superman trick like you did.
All I said to him, I said, I've already told him all this because his mum did. You're not having a bike. Look what your father did to himself. Then I says, mate, I said, you want a bike, get a bike. I said, you saw what I did to myself. You saw how fucked up my body is. I said, all I'll say to you, if you're going to get a bike, you want to ride it fast, go and do some track days. If you come up on a track day, yeah, you might hurt yourself, but it's a lot safer.
Yep.
I said, apart from that, if you're going to ride on the road, watch out for the fucking idiots in cars because there's a lot.
Well, that's the best thing about riding a bike anymore. It's not, well, as always, the other riders of the bike itself. It's the car drivers around you.
Yeah.
It's
always
always has been.
Always make sure you put your leathers on. Whether you're going down the road for a couple of minutes, always make sure you put your leathers on.
Exactly. Well,
don't go around in shorts and t-shirts on your fucking back of your bike.
No.
Number of people I see around here going round on their bikes, shorts and t-shirts, and they got fucking flip flops on or something like that, and you're like,
oh fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
me and a
really?
mate a few years back went for a bit of a ride round, just round local area. We called at this pub. I've got my full leathers on. It was a fucking red hot evening. The landlord comes up. Oh, I bet you're fucking warm in them. Yeah. But I know at least my fucking skin will stop on where it is. 2 fucking prices. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I was taught pretty early with that one. You saying that, I remember I was 18 and I went out with a mate of mine. Same thing, summer afternoon, Sunday afternoon. I can remember where we were going, everything. And there's a couple. It tells you how long ago it was, and they were on GPZ 750. I just see it to this day. Young blonde girl and with a boyfriend, and he had shorts, and she had shorts on, and they had flip flops on and crash helmet. And then my mate who's with me, Ted, Tiger Ted, and he said to me, he says, "Don't ever let me catch you doing that on a bike," because he was older than me, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, we got following because we were going the same way as them. There was a bike event on, bit of a rally on. We got halfway down there through this like series of left rights, came around a bend, and there was a line about that wide where they'd come off, and it was blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the amount of skin that was taken off her thigh. She lost her leg.
Yeah.
And the paramedic, because we stayed there obviously with them, and the paramedic turned around to me that day, and I can remember this clear as a bell, and you can check this, it's factual. When bone hits tarmac, you lose, and at 60 miles an hour, you lose an inch every second of bone. There's a fact for you. Not one you want to hear.
Nope.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've had road rash. Because I think some of you have seen it, that scar on that arm there. That was from a paddock jacket. I was nipping to get some fags, so I threw a paddock jacket on. Got taken off by a car. And paddock jackets being nylon, it's stuck to my arm.
Yep.
So I got hold of the paddock jacket and just ripped it off, and it took the skin with it. Yeah, I've seen 1 year I had 13 friends die in bike accidents. And I can tell you every single one of those bikes, their names, everything.
Yeah.
It sticks with me. It's
Oh, it will. Oh, yeah.
not asking for sympathy. It's fact.
Honestly, Lee knows this bit of road well. Between Pickering and Fox and Rabbit.
Yep.
There's some beautiful roads.
They've straightened it a lot now. It used to be a lot curvier. Couple similar situation, summer's night, shorts, t-shirts. Fortunately, they were wearing trainers, but it didn't really save much. They finished up.
Not really.
Bike wrapped around one tree. Last was wrapped around the other tree and killed instantly.
Yeah.
And lad was picked up in field about 40 yards down.
Yep. Yes.
And it wasn't long after that they started the work to straighten that bit of road.
It's not the road that's at fault.
No, it's not.
This makes me sick because there was a lot of it went on in Yorkshire and down your way, actually, Craig, down there. Some of the nice bike roads. There was a lot of it where I said, we need to do motorcycle safety and stop them speeding. And well, no, it's not the road that's the issue.
That's it. The thing was, that stretch used to be lovely because you could just flick your way through it.
It isn't a road.
Hold a nice steady 70 or 80, just flick it around and enjoy the road.
Yeah. If you're riding, even if you're speeding, if you're riding within your limits, the bike's limits and the road's limits, even though you might be over the speed limit, you're safe.
Yeah.
You're perfectly safe.
I mean, that's why I used to love going down the Cadwell.
Yeah.
It's fucking lovely biking roads down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from Louth up to the Cadwell, where you just get to the Bluestone Heath Road, which is the crossroads just before Cadwell. I mean, I know that road so well. I could tell you every corner from there back to Boston with my eyes shut.
Until you get to them crossroads at Market Razor and nearly lose a pillion because you're not keeping on with the
What sort of person would do that? That's
I don't
all.
know.
You know, Lisa is now furiously typing. Oh, bless her.
I mean, some of the roads around here are absolutely gorgeous to
Yeah.
ride on.
Yeah, Yorkshire's got some lovely roads.
Yorkshire, North Derbyshire, down towards
Yeah. The trouble,
Bakewell, Buxton, around that area.
Oh yes.
the trouble with both Moors roads is they've straightened them all to try and stop some of the accidents on bends.
Mm.
And you can see where they've straightened them all.
Yeah.
And it's like they used to be lovely, nice bends. Just take it within your limits, and beautiful to ride down.
No, the Matlock Road I've been up that road.
Matlock Road, yeah.
You know, when you come into Matlock, there's a long right hander as you come into Matlock.
Yep.
I remember coming round that, and I was a hooligan in one of my younger days. And I came round that, right? I was getting on, I was probably doing about 110 round it, right? So I was scraping the peg out on the floor. Came round that corner, and there was oil in the road, and the back tyre went. And the bike slid from where I was across, hit the curb, and I just kept the throttle on, went round on the curb and came off the park. And I pulled up, and that was Ted was with me that day, and I pulled up, and I was shaking. He went, "Do you want a fag?" I went, "Yeah, please."
Yeah.
The amount of stupid shit I did and got away with.
I said that's when you found out
really
adrenaline's brown.
Yes, it is brown, mate.
Mm.
The amount of stupid shit I got away with, it's a miracle I lasted as long as I was.
You see all these people in fucking t-shirts and shorts. It's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the TT riders, the MotoGP riders, Superbike riders are wearing leathers for a reason, dickheads.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
What annoys me is they go out and they'll buy I've lost touch with sports bikes really now, but they'll go out and they'll buy the latest sports bike for probably 20 grand now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they won't spend the money on a decent set of leathers.
No.
A good set of leathers now, you're probably looking at, I don't know, £1,000 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Probably more.
I know I can get a set from Crowtree, which is in Louth, near Boston. I know I can get a set of custom-made Crowtrees for 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
Because that's where I used to buy my leathers from.
Yeah.
If anybody wants any leathers, they're a really good company. Go and speak to Gav who owns it. He's ever so good.
See, I dropped on with my leathers. It was when CMC was still open at Clay Cross.
Yeah.
And they had...
Well, that was a while ago.
Yeah. And they had that main showroom, and then they had the sale shop next door.
Yeah.
I got full set of Oxford leathers for $350.
That's a fucking bargain.
Yeah. And that were about 9 years ago.
That's a fucking good deal, that.
I was going to say, back in the 90s, I was lucky. A friend of mine worked for Belstaff in the leathers department. I got her to put new sleeves on my jacket because the sleeves on it were too light.
Yeah.
So I got some heavy duty sleeves put on my jacket. She never charged me for them even.
I was very lucky.
Just re-sleeving it, though, was about 180 quid.
Oh, yeah, easy.
I was very lucky with my summer gloves. I was over at Louth because Cows at Wilson's had a shop in Louth. Well, at the time, the other people who had a place in Louth were Honda HRC Racing.
Yeah.
Had a workshop there. And I was talking to the then owner of HRC in the UK about going to work for him. And I walked in there one day in the summer, and I had medium weight gloves on. Oh, my fucking
Yeah.
hands were clammy as fuck. And he went, "Oh, do you want a pair of gloves?" What do you mean, do I want a pair of gloves? He said, "I've got some," and he pulled out a pair of genuine, and they were the same gloves that Joey Dunlop used, a set of genuine goatskin race gloves.
I was going
Yeah.
to say they would be the Vented Kids.
And he just went, "Here you go, you can have them." And they were
Those
about
were-
120 quid a set then.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Vented Kid Skin, fucking superb gloves.
Yeah.
I was very lucky because I knew a lot of people through racing and did a lot of work for people on engines back then. A lot of race work.
Well, the main gloves I use are the Nox Android.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no excuse though for people not having good gear
No.
because whether
I mean-
you want to spend a lot of money and go for like high end Dainese and stuff like that, or just go for sensible price stuff.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of good gear out there. Really fucking good.
You get some good gear for reasonable prices.
You can.
yeah. I used to wear either the RI or the Belstaff kid gloves. But I always got the coated back ones though, which
Yeah.
meant they were waterproof in winter because I rode all year round.
I have got a set of winter ones as well.
You know, they cost an extra 20 quid a pair, but
Yeah.
Oh, riding in winter.
they were worth it. I think I paid about last pair I bought were about 65.
You know, at one point I had 4 bikes in the garage. I had 2 bikes for winter. Among other projects that I had going on at that time. And my favourite winter bike, right, and people will laugh at this, and I've been taking the piss of this. My favourite winter bike, and it got used in the snow, was a Honda C90.
Oh, come 90, yeah.
They were fucking awesome.
Lucky chickens.
I bought that bike off somebody, right, that my dad worked with, and I gave him 150 quid for it because it was tax and MOT, right? And I used that for 4 winters, and it never missed a bit. It never had an
No,
oil
Never
change.
did them.
It just kept going. It was
And
like
another- Yeah, another one that was good in winter was the odd CD200.
I also had an MZ200. You laugh. That I tell you something. Of all the bikes I had over the years, the 2 bikes that never ever failed me in winter were that C90 and an MZ, because MZ, of course, Czech company, used to winter. You go to it, turn the ignition on, give it a couple of jabs on the kickstart, kick it over, off it went.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounded like a glorified lawnmower, but
It's an MZ, what do you expect?
flat out was 50 at a push. But
Hey,
it was,
Downhill,
And
swimming a milk float.
yeah, overtaken by milk floats.
In all fairness, I was on my way home from work Friday, and I actually saw a guy riding down the road on a lawnmower. So
You
think
sure it
the fact-
wasn't? You sure it wasn't a Harley? They are very similar.
same sound.
I
You
say my favourite bike for fun though wasn't the old NS400.
Yeah,
I had the 1 down 2 up pot configuration, the race configuration.
those
engine.
engines, they were good, but God, they weren't reliable. They weren't a reliable engine.
They were so finely tuned.
Well, the problems with the NS400 engine is it used something called Nickesil bore,
Yep.
which means you had to have it replated. You couldn't bore it.
And
God, Bill, you've got me going back into my memory banks.
and semi-ceramic pistons.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
There was
Thankfully,
only
we
the
got rid of
bottom
Nickesil.
shoulder was aluminium. The rest of it was ceramic.
I have seen that a lot of companies, Kawasaki, I think they're the first to do it, are bringing back two-strokes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, you can't beat the smell of Castrol two-stroke.
The thing with that NS
Hmm.
400 was when she was on song, fuck, was she quick?
Oh yeah, but it wasn't as quick as the RD and RG.
I beat an RD in a straight run.
Pete, a friend, long gone, another one who died. But Pete,
mate of mine had the RD 350 LC.
oh, I'm about the RD 500.
Oh, the RD 5.
A
Yeah,
friend
but
of mine,
you're going up a bit bigger engine.
Pete, he had an RG 500 that we rebuilt. And it was an RG 500, which was which was overboard by Stan Stevens, who people know if people remember that name, but he built the engine. It was 130 horsepower, and I remember riding it from Boston up to Lincoln, past Waddington, over the hilly bit, and a power band kicked in as I came off the top of one of the hills. And all I had off Pete afterwards was, fuck me, that was an amazing wheelie. I went, it might have been amazing for you. It wasn't meant to be amazing.
My asshole was twitching.
Yes. 145 mile an hour past RAF Waddington on the back wheel, yeah.
Say, Matt, you're leaking coolant. It's not coolant.
that was not coolant. Anyway, I thought you were going to get a bike, Tyler.
I was supposed to a couple weeks back, well, maybe 3 weeks now, but literally they sold it within a half hour before I was supposed to go see it. I don't remember the exact, everything on it, but I believe it was an 84 Honda. But I tell you what, it was fucking beautiful. It looked like it had never been rode in its life.
The day, right, here's one for you, and it's recorded now. The day you turn up in here and say, I bought a Harley Davidson, you're sacked from the show.
You think I would? No.
Unless you get one of the Harley 350s that were actually made by Gilera.
Yeah.
You'll see me on a moped before you see me on a Harley.
Fucking Harleys.
But do you remember that bike, though? The 350 Gilera that was badged as a Harley?
Harley Davidson also had a Bull Taco. There's a mate here. Bull Taco made a they made it, and Harley Davidson stuck a badge on it. There is actually a Harley Davidson I would like to own. An XR 750 flat track.
Yeah.
But that really isn't much Harley Davidson left in it.
No.
Yeah, badge, that's about it.
I think the badge and I think part of the frame's still original.
The other bike I'd like is Kenny Roberts flat track TZ 750 2-stroke.
Oh yeah, that's a nice.
It was fucking lethal.
Yep. Well, yeah, it was Kenny Roberts.
Fun. It'd be so much fun to ride.
I've been watching Marketplace trying to see if anything appropriate price and everything comes up. There are more freaking Honda Shadows up for sale right now than anything else.
Do you know what the daft thing is? The Honda Shadows get really good money in the UK.
You do.
Yeah.
From what I've
heard, they're a really good bike,
especially for a beginner bike. Something you first.
They're really
actually a good option.
They're a good bike and they're really reliable. Being Honda,
they're not priced crazy for a used bike.
I mean, I've always been Kawasaki. Kawasaki's who I've always gone with. That's just me. That's that's my go-to. But Lee likes. But you still got your VFR, haven't you?
I've got a VFR, yep.
Somewhere in the shed, under a pile of dust.
I will get it out again this year.
Yeah,
it's just
I used to like my Hondas.
I think Honda make good bikes. But they do. I don't know. I've always just gone to Kawasaki. I just prefer them for some reason.
See,
I do keep looking at the Kawasaki Vulcans.
I mean, Matt, say what you want. You know my age and everything. I've never been on a bike, ever.
God,
Besides riding on the back of somebody, obviously, you know, when I was a kid.
I'm
Well,
not
in,
saying
that,
anything.
you know, in that case, if you want a bit of fun, get yourself a CR 125 in full off-road trim.
I was thinking a 1989 CR 500.
Yeah, the old maggot.
No, a CR 500.
Sorry, I was thinking CX.
CR 500 was the two-stroke motocross bike.
Hmm.
When he hits the
Hmm.
power band,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, but the CR 125 in off-road trim, that's got 230 horsepower and hits a very narrow power band extremely sharply.
See, problem is, I know how I am driving a car. I couldn't imagine me with the fucking ability to go around other traffic on a bike.
But the thing with that CR 125, a mate of mine had one because, you know, his parents owned the farm, and in the farm we had there was a quarry, so we had our own grass track there, complete with all the hills and dips and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And he took the CR up the vertical face and got to the top and landed it.
That's the easy bit's getting up there. The hard bit is being in one piece when it lands.
Yeah, the hard piece is landing it at the top.
Right, not flipping backwards back down the hill.
The amount of injuries I threw, motocross injuries, fuck me.
Oh yeah.
Usually wrists and stuff.
Mm.
Well, how much of Dougie Lampkin's still actually Dougie Lampkin?
If you want to look at injuries through motocross riders, I tell you somebody to look at Travis Pastrana.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's had a lot. I mean, look at what he's pulled off, though. Keep that in mind.
Look at all his injuries and then consider this. Travis Pastrana is still a long way behind the amount of bones that I've broken. I've broken more bones than Travis Pastrana has.
Yeah, look at Dougie's dad.
Not sure that's a good record to set, to be honest. But
No, not really. No.
Dougie's
Matt,
dad's
you-
broken a
you
fair
put
few
the wrong
bones.
people and all the digits get snapped. You know.
oh, mate, the
I
amount
think
I've
Dougie's dad managed to smash both hands and wrists completely.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah, it's
3 months later, he's back motocrossing.
you can always tell old bikers because they're the ones in the pub who struggle picking a pipe up.
Yeah,
They've always got that certain walk where it looks like they shit themselves. They have them. It's just the pain of actually walking.
Or when you go to Squires and they're the ones struggling to pick the pasties up, the cups of
Oh,
tea.
I haven't been to Squires for years.
No, I am.
Arthritis in your knees and your fucking
Yeah.
ankles and your fucking hips.
I mean, thing is, first time I went to Squires was when it was still the calf.
Yeah, when it was original one. I never got a chance to go to the original one.
I went to original Squires first times.
If I go up to Squires, it's always midweek. I fucking can't abide going at weekends. Too many dickheads there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, if you get a bike, Tyler, I suggest you get good health insurance for when you get older.
Upgrade it.
You'll need it.
Times.
and then upgrade it again.
I mean, I've got a pretty healthy life insurance policy already.
You might
Yeah,
need
but
it.
it's the health insurance you're going to need for when you break yourself.
Yeah, well,
The beneficiaries on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure the beneficiaries are your kids.
well, I'll have them co-sign for the bills first. You know, and
Oh yeah.
Mm.
The trouble is, America is so I don't know that is pro Harley. It's just this.
Yeah.
and that's it. Yeah, the idiots that ride the way they do. My mom was talking today. She had a guy pass her at probably 140 to 150 on a cross on the middle of the highway the other day, literally lane splitting down stop traffic in rush hour traffic. Let one person split lanes or change lanes or whatever, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why cars were fitted with mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tell Volvo drivers that.
And Audi drivers and Beamer drivers.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why have I just got in my head? Police Academy. Somebody call a veterinarian. Where he just goes over 3 cars and straight up a horse's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'll be back in a minute. The boy wants me to go up to say goodnight to him.
Can we do that with Keir Starmer?
Shove him up Rachel Reeves?
Which one? Use him as the horse or shove his head up a horse's ass?
Both.
You choose, Bill. It's entirely up to you. I don't mind either way.
It's simply a question of momentum. That is the only issue you can.
I mean, you could always shove Keir Starmer up Donald Trump's ass.
Well, you'd lose Starmer really quick.
The Human Centipede, Part 4.
Oh.
I wish I hadn't said that because I've got a vision in my head now and it's really not.
You really didn't need that one. No, did I?
The disturbing part is the extra arms and legs, you know.
Oh, God, Donald Trump. Dear, oh, dear. Mind you, from what I heard, the Harley factory in Milwaukee, there was talk of them closing it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I just don't.
Well, like there's a Harley dealership literally 5 minutes up the road from where I live, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been in there in years and years. Last time I was there was probably a decade ago. A very, very plain leather jacket with the Harley emblem, all that, crap. I think it was like $400 for the jacket. And it was a thin jacket.
The thing is, right, over here, I don't know about in America, but you go and buy a custom like that, the custom cruiser style that Harleys all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here, you go and buy, like Lisa, the Vulcan, which is a really nice looking bike. Yeah. It's reliable, really good bikes, actually. Or there was the XV Yamaha. Virago.
On the Shadow.
The Shadow as well, of course, the big Shadow that they did. And all of these, and you probably brand new, I would say they were 12-ish, 11, 12-ish, I think. It's been a few years. I'm a bit out of touch with bike prices.
Last time I looked at Vulcans brand new, I think they were about 7.5.
They weren't, they're not a bad price. And you're getting good cover for your warranty. Excuse me. They're really reliable, really, they're really usable bike. Now, you go to a Harley dealership and you buy the equivalent would be like the 1200 Sportster. And they're like 18,500 to £20,000.
I just looked it up, Matt. They're the highest end of the newest Harley releases is the CBO Road Glide, 46,000.
And that's without going.
And that's stock. That is pure.
If you go to Harley special editions, they're even more.
Oh yeah, and that's based, and that's just.
And I've worked on Harleys, and I'll tell you something. To work on, they are the biggest bag of fucking shit on the planet.
Yeah.
Not all of the pretty chrome and chrome nuts and everything. You put a fucking snap-on, not cheap spanners. So I always use snap-on. You put a snap-on spanner on one of the chrome nuts, and the chrome just goes and falls off. Go out in wet. Well, it's England, so it's nearly always wet. So you go out in the wet, and they're rusty by the time you get back. They're just a bag of crap.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's cheap chrome work at that. It really is.
And the engine is such a agricultural turd.
What's oversized, underpowered to all hell.
I mean, the 1340 Evo engine is what, 64 brake horsepower? 80 cubic inch.
The old shovelhead was 46.
You might as well get a Harley frame and put a Briggs and Stratton lawnmower engine in it. At least it'll be reliable.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
if you want to buy a bike and you want to buy a Harley, go for it. It's entirely your choice. But if you want to buy a bike and actually go anywhere, go to something like Honda or Kawasaki or one of the Japanese manufacturers.
Yeah.
Because they're reliable. They work.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
they don't go wrong.
a few years back, if I'd have had the money, when my old boss moved to France, he was selling his Kawasaki 1500 Mean Streak. If I'd have had the money, then I'd have had that fucker. That was a beautiful bike, that.
They were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice looking bike, they were.
And they had straight through pipes on it as well.
That would have sounded good.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, people say, oh, well, Harley Davidsons, they sound good. Yeah, well, so can any V-twin if you put the right exhaust on it.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Well, Harley Davidson patented the exhaust note.
Yeah. I saw that. That made me laugh.
I'm not sure how that works because it's just a 45-degree V-twin. So
I know.
I don't know how exactly that works. How... Yeah. And if that's the case, they patented that. Well, surely before Harley invented the V-twin, you had stuff like Jap engines. Not Jap as in Japanese, but Jap as in JAP.
Yeah.
Who were before Harley Davidsons, and they were V-twins. Therefore, Harley haven't really got a claim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you think that the Indian,
For example, American engineering trying to say, oh, we invented this, we invented that.
Again.
Yeah. Usual American bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you say, though, Bill, Indian.
Indian were a more reliable, better built bike than Harley ever were.
Oh, God, yeah. Indians, especially if you find a properly maintained one for the right year, they're beautiful bikes.
Yeah.
The problem is now is that you'll pay a lot of money for an engine.
Well, think about it. Because of the way they were, people rode them into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, so there's nothing left that's pristine with low miles anymore.
But riding them into the ground was 200,000 miles.
I've got it. I've got the perfect bike for you. Go buy yourself a V-twin, a nice Vincent Black Shadow.
The Black Shadow. Dum, dum, dum.
Oh, there you go. That's the perfect bike for you.
Yeah.
It might cost you a little bit of money, but
Well, do you remember the other about 18 months ago when I found that barn find one? They only wanted 18,000 for it.
yeah.
He still had the chicken shit on it.
If you find a mint condition, Vincent,
That
you're looking
I just googled it. That's a nice bike.
Oh yeah.
original Vincents, you're looking at a lot of money.
Yeah.
I put it this way: outside the Vincent factory, Tyler, there was a long drag hill. If a Vincent wouldn't do 100 up that hill, the fucking thing was stripped and rebuilt completely.
Oh wow.
Oh, we could actually get him to buy, and they do build them to special order, a Brough Superior.
Yeah.
What kind of money do you think I'm coming into here, Matt?
Well, let's put it this way: the custom build Brough Superiors, the guy who's building them is charging about $500,000 for them.
I was thinking a Honda Camino might be more in Tyler's price range.
Well, what you do is you sell your missus to medical science.
And the kids, for that fact, for that bike.
Well, no, you can't sell the kids, mate. You just get yourself a sidecar to put the kids in. You'd be like Wallace and Gromit, wouldn't it?
No, George and Mildred.
George and Mildred.
Oh, for George and Mildred, you need the old Panther.
Yeah, oh God, Panther. Yeah, I've forgotten about that.
Because the Panther was standard as a sidecar.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was. Wasn't the Panther? That was an AJS engine they used in them, wasn't it?
It was a long stroke AJS. It used to fire every other lamppost.
Boof. Boof. Talk about
It
low
was-
revving engines.
It was such a long stroke, low revving engine. They were unbelievable.
I remember when we were doing MOTs, we had an old chap come in, a really nice chap, and he had a 650 AJS. No, it wasn't. I lie. It was a 650 BSA,
Yeah.
right? And this thing was fucking immaculate. It was beautiful, this bike. I didn't appreciate it really at the time, to be honest with you. But it was beautiful. Gold Star. And, of course, no electric starts. There's Matt trying to jump up and down on the kickstart to kickstart a fucking gold. Fuck me, they kick back like a bastard.
Oh.
I mean, I was what then? I would have been about 18 stone. And I'm stood up on the bike, on the kickstart, with all my weight on the kickstart. The kickstart's like, yeah, and? What do you want me to
nearly
do about it? It's like, fuck off.
That's why all of those old BSA riders had the very long, heavy duty boots.
And one big leg.
Yep.
Mm.
Fucking
And
cars
a
from
dog
that
called Kickstart.
They used to wear extra thick leather boots
I've
because
got
of
it.
the kickstart.
Here's one for you.
Because that fucker could break your leg on the way back.
We just said about Kickstart, which reminded me of something else. Right?
Yeah,
Think about Ogre. Yeah.
Yeah, Mitzi.
Mitzi. Anyway, now think about Tyler. Malcolm.
You know,
It
I
came-
hate when you do this. I have to actually ask you to explain the insult. I hate that I have to do that sometimes.
Right. If you look it up, there used to
Just
be
look up Ogre.
Ogre years ago was in the back of Backstreet Heroes, which was a bike magazine.
It was in the back of Bike magazine as well.
Yep, it was a comic strip of a bloke called Ogre. Ogre was a biker, and he had his Mrs. Mitzi. The dog was called Kickstart. The new to biking, who was a useless twat, was called Malcolm. Just look it up, mate, because when you look it up, I promise
Seriously,
it's
just-
hilarious. It was so
just look-
funny.
yeah, literally just look up. I've got one of the signed proofs of Andy.
I met Andy once, and what he's funny as fuck.
I met Andy.
I think
But-
he's still going, isn't he, Andy? He's still alive. I
I
hope
think
so.
so. I
Because
think so.
he's been getting on in years now, but he
Yeah.
is a lovely bloke.
But I've got one of the signed proofs.
Yeah, look that up, Tyler. You'll crease
Just-
up with it.
You will enjoy. You will enjoy Ogre.
It's spot on everything that motorcycling is, and the fuck ups and the stupid shit and the bike packing up when just before you're about to go away to like a bike rally and the bike decides we ain't going.
Mm.
All of the daft shit.
And you'll always find the brick in the road.
Yeah, and a Volvo, and that's of course the Volvo driver sketches were in it.
Yeah. And the plank with the nail. You've got all of the classic, anything you can think of to go wrong with bikers. They're somewhere in Ogre.
Yeah, it was. I'd love to get because I used to have the annuals. That they
Yeah.
did every year.
I used to have them.
But unfortunately, when I moved, I lost a lot of my old stuff like that. So I'd love to get hold of all my Ogre stuff again because that was great stuff.
Yeah, I had quite a few of the 80s annuals. Like I
So
say,
good.
originally it was in Bike Magazine because I started reading that in the 70s.
Yeah.
And Ogre was in there.
Yeah, Backstreet Heroes. God.
Backstreet Heroes later, but originally it was only in Bike.
Yeah, Bike Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Bike Magazine was going. I don't know if it's still going.
Don't think it is.
Let's have a look.
No, I don't think it is.
I always used to. I used to read because I knew a couple of the guys who worked there. I always used to read Performance Bike.
Yeah.
But that's not going anymore. And there is a video, one of the released videos that Performance Bike did. They did some dyno testing and speed testing down at Elvington. And on one of the videos, there is my bike is actually in the video. And there is me.
Magazine's still going.
Matt is actually on the video. You'll see me talking to a couple of lads. One of them was Burnsy, and Pete is in the video as well.
But,
so there is a few videos of me about here and there. There's like videos of me. God help us. There is videos out there of me.
But in all seriousness, go and read Ogre.
It's all right, Martin.
You'll do it. You'll feel better for it.
Martin, you'll get over this strange urge to want a Harley.
You can get therapy for that.
You can get an ointment. It will help.
It might not clear it, but it will get rid of the worst of the rash.
At the end of the day, if somebody really wants a Harley and that's what you want, go for it. It's all it is my fucking opinion at the end of the day. So
I've ridden a couple of Harleys in the early 80s.
You fucking idiot.
Well, I got to borrow one afternoon because we were at a traction rally. Someone with his Harley managed to get it bogged down. I helped him get the bike off the field.
The right place for a Harley. That is a traction rally, isn't it?
But yeah, I helped him get it. Was one of the old shovel heads.
That's it. Fred Dibner on a fucking Harley.
You saying about traction rallies. I remember actually going to Carrington, which is just outside Boston, quite famous for their traction rally.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who was there is a local farmer. He was well into his traction engines. And he had some problem with the chains the chains that actually steer.
Yeah.
And I went back and got some gear and actually fixed it for him. And he said, "Oh, have you ever driven a traction engine?" I was like, "No." "Yeah, do you want to?" I said, "Oh, fuck it." We naffed off down because if you know where Carrington is, it's on the 7 Mile Straight. It's on that long straight. He trusted me driving it down the 7 Mile Straight, so we went to the pub. And I had about 5 pints while I was there, and then drove it back. Past the police car. Fuck me, that's a scary experience. At 8 miles an hour, it is a really scary experience driving one of them things.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're looking at what, 7, 8 ton?
Yeah, but this was one of the. Oh, what did they use it for? He did tell me it was like the equivalent of like heavy haulage type stuff.
Oh, one of them, yeah.
Yeah, fuck me. I tell you what, you could feel the power in them. Like some real
Oh, there's-
fucking grunt in it. I mean,
but
yeah, I had to drill the actual bolt out of the pinion on the steers on the chain.
yeah,
Yeah, a 3/4 inch drill bit. You do know what 3/4 inch is, don't you, Tyler?
I can make a comment, but yeah.
3/4 of an inch.
yeah, just double it up.
That size drill bit.
Oh yeah.
I had to drill that. That was hardened steel. Drilled it out.
No, one of the first jobs I had was working for a company making model traction engines, and we used to
You
make.
said about that before, mate.
Yeah, we used to make live steam scale models.
They cost some money. Some of those serious.
Oh,
Beautiful models as well. Some of
we
them.
did a model of the rocket, which back in the very early, well, it was 1981.
The reason they got Bill to
was
help.
Was 750 quid then.
The reason Bill helped build the model was Bill was at the original unveiling.
Yeah, they do a steam rally every year, just outside Brixham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all come from all over the country.
Yeah.
It's fun when you're driving the bus and you're like, well, oh yeah, there's a
Fucking traction engine comes flying.
yeah. You pass one as you're going in, and you think, oh shite, I'm going to meet that going back out.
Yep.
You pass one as it's going out of Brixham as you're going into Brixham, you think, oh shite, I'm going to meet that.
I've driven a few tractors over the years, Martin. You know, growing up around like Lincolnshire, driven a few tractors for farmers and stuff over the years. To be honest, new tractors, it's like driving a fucking car.
You,
Just-
yeah.
So long as you take in, obviously it's a lot bigger and wider, so long as you take that into account, it's a piece of cake, really.
The
And
trouble is with those new ones, you can set the GPS
And it does it all for
and
you.
it does it all for you.
Yeah.
All you
Mm.
got to do is you
Full
get
air
to the
conditioning and everything.
get to the farm gate, press the button, and that's it. You just sit there.
Tyler will appreciate this one. I do remember going to see Pettit's, which was our local farmer,
Yeah,
and his dad, he was well in his 80s then, and he said, "Oh, you know your engineering." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm redoing this tractor." He says, "I need to get it to fire up." I went, "Right." I said, "Well, what's the issue?" He said, what you have to do," he said, "on here," and it was one of the old ones where you actually put a shotgun cartridge in,
Mhm.
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
right? Says there's him there on his walking stick and his flat cap on, me there with the roll up in my gob because I was still smoking then. You put a shotgun cartridge in, and then you have you have an arm that you just drop right
Mhm.
onto the pin, and it fires it, and it fired it every time, first time.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if what we should do with cars, because cars are notorious for not always staying, we'll go back to using shotgun cartridges. And then if you get bored, you know, you can take your shotgun with you, and if the traffic warden's in the way, you can always shoot him.
But see, Matt, then you have the issue. You have geniuses nowadays that would, instead of taking a blank cartridge, would put a fully loaded shell into the engine block.
They
Oh,
weren't.
for
They
fuck's
weren't
sake.
blank. Yeah, but they weren't actually blanks.
No, they're literally they're basically the blasting. It's basically a firing cap,
Mhm.
so it puts a compression charge into the engine.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just without the shot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Somebody put an actual live projectile.
Yes, I know what you mean. Some idiot would put a fucking live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you fired one of those towards somebody,
You
Even
still do damage.
even at 20 feet away, it would do some damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. As it's now 2.5 hours, I blame Lee.
Oh shit!
You're welcome.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? We've got 25%, 20% more.
You speak for yourself. I'm cold.
Yeah, but that's the extra half hour.
Half hour? Fucking hell. 3 minutes and I'm pushing it.
Now, before Matt gets actually up to operating temperature, let's go ahead and end things.
Go on then. Whoever wishes to do goodbye, start. Away you go, boys.
We inserted the shotgun shell into Matt. I mean, what?
You're not inserting anything in me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. It's been a bit nice having you on as well, Lee.
Cheers.
So,
Yeah.
That's all a laugh.
You're always welcome. And I hope everybody has a really good week. I wish Steve nothing but the best for getting better,
Absolutely.
100%.
because
Yeah.
I hadn't realised they'd taken that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Scary.
serious.
It's scary, bless him.
That is scary.
And I don't want people just butting in on you, Bill. I don't want people thinking we're sat here going, ah, he's lost his leg and it's funny. We're
No.
laughing with him, not at him. Big
Yeah.
fucking difference.
Oh, definitely.
We do actually care about the bloke. We do love him, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a laugh at his expense. It's all right because he does the same back anyway.
Guaranteed he'll get us back.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee it.
He was
But-
excited to get to meet SpongeBob. So you know what?
Hope everybody has a good week, and the group's there if you need us. So that's pretty much it for me. Over to you, Craig.
Yeah, cheers, Bill. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Lee, for coming on as well. Yeah, as Bill says, all the best wishes to Steve. All the best wishes anyway. Hope everyone has a good week. As Bill said, the group's there if anyone is struggling. We will be back again next week, as usual. For the usual, after being on for an hour, the boy comes down and starts bloody irritating me. So that'll be normal. Yeah. So I'll pass that on to Tyler.
Thanks, Craig. Well, like we say every week, everybody, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. You know you're welcome anytime. We appreciate having you on the show.
Cheers.
And for Steve, man, we give you a lot of back and forth and shit and everything else. We know you love it. It's a good situation, man. Don't ever take it from what it's not, and we know you won't. So you need us, you know where we are. Enjoy the morphine drip while you got it, buddy. All right, Lee. Say your goodbyes, man.
Yep. Thanks for having us on. Always a good laugh to be on with you reprobates. Well, we're all fucking reprobates here. Yeah. Just echo what everybody said about Steve. He's a good lad. He's a good laugh as well. We just wish him the best. And just let freedom ring with a shotgun blast.
Definitely. Yeah, I can't really say anything apart from, with Steve, hopefully we'll a bit more news as time goes on, and then when we get it, we'll let people know what's going on, bless him. Hopefully no more bits get cut off, because at the rate he's going, by next year he'll have vanished. The other thing I want to say is, apart from love to Steve, I want to put a thing out to Carol, if Carol watches, which is Steve's missus.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's big love to Carol, because I know Carol is obviously, she's quite upset with it all. Understandably so.
Yeah.
And if Carol, you ever need anything, I mean it. I know Steve's told you, but I mean it. If you ever need anything, please just let us know. Anything, and we will try and help.
Any of us, no matter what it is, just reach out.
Because it is hard, because Carol works and she's Steve's carer, and it's obviously a lot on her, and she's got her own things going on. That's all I'm going to say. But anybody else needs any help, usual applies. Give us a shout, give us a call. We'll sort it out. Yeah, Lee, thanks for coming on, bud. It's always fun when we get
Absolutely.
together. I always have a laugh. It's always a good laugh. And yeah, till next week, we might have some more news on the vaping stuff. We'll see. If we haven't, well, we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, Martin, I shall pass that on to Steve and his parrot. The trouble is Steve's parrot is he's about a 12-stone XL bully. And if he's got that sitting on his shoulder, Stevie's going to fall over. As funny as that would be. But I bet Jasper's missing him, actually.
Yeah.
He will be. He will be.
Yeah. So, till next week, we shall see you all later. So, bye-bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Well,